I think that history is central to any pursuit of the liberal arts and to higher education in general, because you can't really understand the world as it is now without understanding the historical context, without understanding the past and how it shapes our contemporary world. And of course, that's fundamental to what historians do. We study change over time. And so in this rapidly changing world, when there's new technology and new forms of communication and new jobs out there every day, it's, I think, fundamental to study how things have changed in the past to help us understand and translate and approach change today and in the future as well. We're a small school, and we pride ourselves in small classes with really intense class discussions and lots of debates, and you get a chance to know not only your professors and your fellow students, but also really kind of peer into the past in very detailed, deep diving ways.
Studying history here is really interesting. It's really tough. I can't sugarcoat it too much, but it's a good tough because I've really learned a lot. Teachers really care about primary sources, so I'm going back and I'm reading primary documents. We're watching a lot of primary video and making sure we're looking at everything from books to pictures to movies. And it's really fantastic because the teachers like to cover a lot in how much time they give you. So every class you're in, you're not feeling like you're wasting time.
I think a lot of parents are anxious about their students, their children majoring in history or English or one of the liberal arts degrees because they don't see a clear path to a concrete job. And it's true that history majors are spread out all across the economy. But that's the great thing about a history degree, is because what we learn in our classes is how to think critically, how to write well, and how to speak clearly and effectively. And those tools are going to be applicable to any profession.
My father was actually a history major at the University of Tulsa. So the reason that I decided to go into history honestly just has a lot to do with, since a very young age, I've always really enjoyed stories. And obviously history is kind of like the ultimate story.
I came into Tulsa undeclared, and I did no idea what I wanted to do, but I know I wanted to teach. And looking back on my high school career, I kind of considered what I wanted to teach, and I thought something from political science and history and maybe English. And as I took a bunch of different courses at Tulsa, I really fell in love with the history department. The teachers are fantastic, and I had a passion for U.S. history, so I decided to explore history and found out that it was the major I wanted to take. And I started taking the classes and knew I loved it. And so history really for me has become something that I know I can teach one day and something that I know I can have a passion for and show a passion for it. And I really fell in love with the subject area.
Most of our majors end up headed initially in the direction of either education or law or perhaps public policy and government work. But we also have majors who are art therapists, who are CEOs of nonprofits, who work in city government, in the mayoral cabinet, for example. So there really are just a wide array of possibilities for history majors, but it is a popular major for those interested in going into law school or interested in working in the government in some way. I think one of the particular strengths of the history department at TU is that we're all excellent teachers. In fact, every single faculty member in the history department has won either a university-wide or college-wide award for their teaching. We all have incredibly different teaching styles. Some of us lecture, some of us don't lecture, some of us, dress up in costume. We are wildly different, but we all have a passion for history, and I think that passion is infectious to our students, and they really do love our classes.